Preston County traffic, Cessna 262 Echo Romeo is taking off, runway 24, Person County.
All right, short field takeoff.
Okay.
Off the brakes. There you go. Rotate. Looking for 60. Pull, 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 gently but pull. Hold 60. What you want to do is ease it up, give it a chance to slow back down to about 60.
Okay.
Now you're about 200 feet up. Now you want to relax the back pressure. Go back to where you can see the horizon just over. Let it pick up speed. Climb out like you normally would.
Okay.
Don't necessarily, you could go flat. I don't know if there's anything wrong with that, but you could also just go back to climb attitude.
Okay. So the thing that I need to correct next time is I need to be pulling faster.
So you're kind of saying, well, I'm above that, so that's okay. No, the reason for the number is it's the most efficient speed to get altitude.
Okay. So I started to pull on the yoke at like 49.
Well, 50, 55
okay.
maybe.
All right.
55 is okay, you just have to do it a little bit quicker.
Okay.
Or you'll not get the nose up quite high enough.
Okay.
Look at the pointer on the attitude indicator. It's just barely above the 10. It might be as high as the 12, but it's no higher.
Okay.
So if you put it there, you would still have about the right number, and then you can feather it with your fingers.
Okay. Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning a crosswind for runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Altitude. Now, we need consistency in our pattern work. A short field landing. Slow it down. Don't lose altitude needlessly. Hold it level. So you're already 300 feet low, but we've actually picked up speed. What you want to do is keep it level till you get around 80, 85, 90 at minimum. Then you want to get the flaps in. That kind of balances against what you're feeling. Now you want to be about 85 or so, 80, 85. It should balance itself out without diving towards the ground. And fly your pattern accordingly.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Blue Ridge traffic, Bonanza 6133 Victor, 4,000 feet descending, 10 miles to the north, inbound for landing. I'll enter a left downwind for 31 Blue Ridge.
Now you're way high for a short field. I'll land right on the numbers?
Nope.
Why not? That's a short field.
I know, because I'm going up too high.
Well, then it's time to go around if you can't land. Wide open is always, always, always. Bury that into your memory. If you're doing anything that's going to need some power, go around, stall recoveries, bulk landings, wide open, always. Somebody messed up my stuff here. I don't know exactly how to fix it.
What was wrong?
What I'm used to do is 2 or 3 pushes and I'd get rid of all those lines, and that's what I'm trying to do now, and it didn't let me do it. Take your turn.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person
Now,
County.
if you go around, do the go around almost like you do a normal flight. Climb right as quick as you can up to 1600. Stay at 1600. If you extend out to get to the end of the runway or something, that's fine. But
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
now think about your traffic pattern. Make the plane be exactly where you want, not close, exactly where you want it to be. If you're so tight on the downwind that you don't have a base leg, then you're creating a problem for yourself. So you're in about a third too tight. What you don't want to have to do is go way out, make a tight turn, come way back. You want to fly a pattern that, now beam the touchdown point. If you slow the plane, power back, hold altitude, slow the plane to about 85 with 10 degrees of flaps, that you can then create a 500 foot a minute descent pretty much to the runway. Hold your nose up. Well, you're about the right speed, I guess. Not flaps in yet?
Yeah, just a little.
Okay.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Blue Ridge traffic, Bonanza 33.
Short field landing. Short field means the end of the runway. Means you ought to be stopped before we get to where you turn into the center field taxiway.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
All right, this time you're looking a lot better. Also remember, it's easier to make good landings coming down than it is coming in really flat. You need a bigger arc to make a good landing. Come in flat, you've already given up half the arc of the flare. It makes it a lot tougher. Work those feet. It's coming off your side. It's going to be a tiny bit of left wing down, tiny bit of right rudder. Don't get any slower than 60 till you get there. You run out of airspeed here by pushing the nose up, we're in trouble. Power back. Coming down. Power all the way out. Now concentrate on your landing. Flare. Work it out. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Still got flying speed. This maneuver is use up as much of that energy as you possibly can. Full brakes. Didn't even have to brake hard. Okay? Make sense to you?
Yep.
All right. Flaps coming up. Off field takeoff. Off field, we're going to use 10 flaps.
Okay.
Let her rip. Right foot, right foot, more right foot, right there. Around the nose if you can't see over it. Push, push. Don't want to climb at slow speed.
Okay.
You want to get over level and pick up speed.
Okay.
And I know you're worried about touching back down. Everybody does. The odds of touching back down unless you shove the nose downhill are pretty much zero.
Okay.
But you do want to smoothly get it over just about level. And then pick up your, pick up your normal climb and then climb out normally. Okay, back around for a short field landing.
Okay. Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
And again, remember that to be as consistent as you can. This is where the aviation insanity comes into play. Do it differently every time and figure you can pull it out your yin-yang is not good.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Your pattern looks good this time. Will that ball way out? Feel
Yep.
like your plane's not smooth?
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
feet. That runway rising?
Yep.
On you.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
400 feet. $300 feet. $200 feet. $300 feet. Now you look about right. And remember, don't bring the nose up high, or too soon or you'll get really slow. You watch your airspeed like a hawk watching a mouse. Make sure you don't go below 60 till you pull the power to flare. Depth is okay. Getting closer, you want to bleed the speed off and come down. Speed off and come down, come down, come down, come down, come down. All right, good. Flare. Work the flare a tiny bit sooner. Work your right foot, left wing. Now, you don't want to get that low that far out.
Okay.
You're giving up all kinds of energy options when you...
So, there was a calculated thought in my head, which is probably the wrong thought. I knew that as soon as I went all flaps, I was going to get some altitude.
Yeah, but you're right. You will get some altitude.
Should I have done it sooner?
No, you don't. What you want to do is not do that.
Okay.
What you want to do is control that so that the ramp to the runway stays constant.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. I'll do the next one, kind of reset your picture for you.
Regular takeoff?
Soft fill. 10 degrees flaps. Remember, keep it straight. Don't try to look over the nose because you can't see over the nose if it's high as it ought to be. You've got to look around, keep it straight, and as soon as you're sure it's in the air, start pushing over. Tell you what, pull the power, stop. Have the controls.
Air controls.
Well, what you did just then is you had the yoke back, and as soon as you put the power in, the yoke went forward about 2 inches.
Now let it go.
So do it this way, all the way back, and slowly add the power in.
Okay.
Now look around the nose. Keep it straight. Lower the nose a tiny bit so you don't drag the tail. In the air. Letting off the back pressure. Picking up speed. And away we go. You have the controls for a while.
My controls.
Yeah. Remember, if you see how you pull that power up and we settled right back into the level of those trees over there. We obviously don't have trees. I think if we did, I don't think you would pull them up too soon. I think you'd be more aware.
So you said you wanted to do one?
Yep, I'll take it from a beam to touchdown point.
Okay. Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Right foot.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Now, I'm going to use more brake than you did. I appreciate that you're not sliding my tires. Okay? I'm serious.
Especially after my reputation is from blowing up a tire.
Well, I don't know that you did it, and if you did, you have to blame me because I let you.
Okay.
So, for the check ride, you have to show that you're going to use brakes.
Okay.
All right? I have your brake controls.
Your flight controls.
So what I'm doing is holding it as I pull back on the throttle. I'm also adding a little bit of pressure so the yoke doesn't go forward. Because I don't want to maintain speed, I want to slow down. Then I'm putting the flaps in about 10 degrees. Now I'm going to relax the pressure, let the plane fly somewhere around 80, 85, and maybe a little bit of trim might be advantageous there. And then I'm watching the runway, okay? So it's 45 or so degrees off your shoulder, maybe go a tiny bit further, but I'm cutting in about a quarter mile or so, a couple of 100 yards anyway, sooner than you do. And part of that so I don't get low coming out here on long final and give up some of my options. So I'm losing altitude, usually 100, 200 feet to 300 feet is about normal through this turn. Still coming down, wings level, don't see anybody coming the other way. Still coming down, rolling into the turn to final. Person County, 2 Echo Romeo, turning final 24, person. So I'm down to about 70. I don't want much to be below 70 through this turn. I can always add power. I can lower the nose. And you see the angle back to the picture you ended up with is about where we are now, without ever getting low and then coming back up.
7 miles to the southeast.
So now I'm going to full flaps.
Down on the localizer 3-1 approach into Martinsville.
And I'm aiming to land just past about where the antenna is. So I'm watching that sink rate. I'm pointing the nose literally at the very end of the runway. I am keeping the power up enough to maintain 60 without picking up much speed.
From the FBO via Alpha to runway 24.
So I'm holding 60 with power, still coming down, working the hands and feet to stay centered on the runway. About now, power's coming all the way out. Settling in, rotating as the runway rounds up, working it out, working it out. There we are. A little bit of braking without sliding the tires. And we're on the ground and just about 1,000 feet from the end of the runway.
So the objective is before the 1,000-foot mark.
Well, the ideal is it's short field. There's no definition.
The shorter the better.
The shorter the better, as long as you don't land short of the runway.
Okay.
So if you land on the numbers or just barely past them, that's where I would be aiming for, and knowing the plane's going to float a bit. Okay?
Yep.
All right, you have controls, soft field takeoff. Already got your 10 degrees of flaps in.
All right.
You're ready to roll. Concentrate on not letting off your left hand. Slowly bringing the power in so it doesn't sneak up on you and jump into the right foot, right. See it turn? Now, if you didn't see that, you're not looking in the right place. Good. Push over slowly. That's right. Keep pushing. Push. You're still slow. Airspeed is your lifeblood. That's the reason they publish the numbers. They tell you your blood pressure ought to be at least 60. 55 if you got 10 degrees of flaps down.
It's guaranteed to go up if I don't pay attention to that.
And climb normally.
Okay.
The hard part of this is doing it when it isn't real, okay? I mean, there's no obstacles. It's 6,000 foot of runway. It's very difficult for a lot of people to wrap their head around, well, this is what it is. And it's, you know, instead of saying, okay, well, this is what I've really got to practice working on, regardless of what it really is.
So it's an exercise. It's not, it's definitely. Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic, Archer 386 Delta, taxiing from the ramp to runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Archer 603 Alpha, taking runway 24 for departure, and we'll be departing the area to the south, Person County.
Watch your airplane. What's it doing? It's already 200 feet low.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
We ought not to be below 500 feet till we're on turn-in final. 500 above ground. And you don't don't want to pull up and climb and lose your airspeed. Remember, blood pressure?
Blue Ridge traffic, Aero 4576 X-ray, 4 miles to the southeast, descending through 2000 inbound on the localized 31 approach into Blue Ridge, full stop landing, runway 31.
Sort of what you're doing is chasing the symptoms instead of treating the disease. You're kind of waiting till it's out of whack and then trying to fix it instead of thinking, okay, if I start polishing this right now, I don't have to fix it later. Fast. Above your full flap speed. Now get your flaps in. Aim for the end of the runway. Use whatever power it takes to maintain no slower than 60 till you get there. Remember that as you sink in, you want to delay rounding up a little bit, but once the runway starts to widen out, you want to then get your flare done. You don't want to wait till you're about to run the wheels on the ground, because then you're going to float, and then you're going to be chasing stuff. You're looking good. Looking real good. Real good. Straighten it up, power out. Remember, you got to anticipate. Round it out, round it, round it, round it, round it, round it. Or, the reason you're having trouble is you're flaring too low. And when you flare too low, you balloon up, because then you're chasing to keep from hitting the ground. If you start about 3 or 4 feet higher, it would work a lot better. As soon as that, it's coming wider, 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 and all of a sudden it goes like that, as soon as it starts to go like that, work your flare.
Okay. What are we doing?
All filled. Okay. Flaps are set, carb heat cold, and let her rip. Slow on the power, because if you do that jam, it's going to poof.
You're right.
And you're going to drag the tail. There you go. Look around the nose so you can see what the plane's doing. Keep it straight for your feet. Right foot, see it drift, tightening up on your side. Push over, push. Good. Very nice. Keep pushing a little bit. Get that speed up so you live. Now we got good blood pressure. We quit doing CPR. We climb on out of here. That was a lot better.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Archer 386 Delta will be departing runway 24 to the south, Person County.
Right foot.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County. Sun's starting to come out.
Traffic, Liberty 104, 5 miles northwest of the field. We're going to overfly at pattern altitude, join left downwind for 24, Brookdale.
Looking good.
Person County traffic, Archer 386 Delta. Turning left crosswind.
So you're down to 700, so you can turn your base center.
Final call.
Person County traffic. 2 Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Traffic Liberty 104, 2 miles northwest of Lyman.
Good. Now aim the plane where you want it to go. Don't come in low and then flatten out. You aim it for the end of the runway. Use power to get there.
Overflying field and then second left down the slope.
And in your airspeed. Don't lose sight of it just because everything's great, but if you don't pay attention, the airspeed goes poof in the night. Or it picks up too much. Either one's not where you want to be. Looking good. There, you got it made, right? Power out. Don't lower the nose. Don't lower the nose. Work your flare now. Easy,
Sorry,
baby.
Sorry.
Dude, the best landing you've done all day and then slide my damn tire. I don't know about you.
Well,
I'm gonna drink on that.
if I wasn't gonna worry about the tires, if it was really a short field landing, I would have made it.
You made it anyway.
Okay.
I told you, you got 1,500 feet. 1,500 is where the taxiway is. Did good.
Okay. Excellent.
And you know, that time you rounded higher. You see how smooth that worked out? Didn't chase it, didn't float much. Just nice, easy, right in there. All right, now the soft field.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
I didn't spill any.
Okay. That's valuable stuff. I don't want to cause any problems. All right.
There you go. Slow and easy. Let off of the yoke. Don't let off. You want to get that nose wheel in the air. There you go. Don't let it drift. You're doing good. Don't let it drift to the left. Push. 4. Good.
Guess it must have got better in Raleigh because those guys left.
Yep.
Roxborough traffic, Super Cub 71 Charlie is 5 miles east of the airfield. We'll cross midfield at 1500 through the airspace. Roxborough traffic.
Why in the hell would they do that?
That's 1500 is I don't know.
Traffic, Liberty 177.
Or just make your normal calls.
Okay. Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County. You know who that is?
Nope.
Traffic, Liberty 177, midfield left down in runway 24. Particular.
I understand Super Cubs don't normally fly very high. Why would you overfly an airport at traffic pattern altitude if you weren't planning to land there?
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Super Cub 71 Charlie is 3 miles west of the airfield. We'll be crossing midfield at 1600, Person County.
Now, he's east of the field. He now
We'll
saying
be
he's
on
west.
the look for traffic.
So he's coming from the east?
I thought I saw him. Yeah, there he is.
Where?
Right there. So we
7104 left cross, with runway 24 Bucknell.
now still fly your game
I know.
till we find him.
There he is right there. Coming right,
If
he's
you
coming
need to
right
turn,
at us.
turn. Don't keep coming down though, just turn. And to Echo Romeo is doing evasive action to not hit the Super Cub. Hard up.
Person County traffic, Super Cub's about a mile and a half.
Got it?
West
Yep.
of the airfield at
All right, you can now turn.
1600, almost 1700, crossing midfield.
Turn. Stay in your pattern.
Traffic.
Bucknell traffic, Liberty 104, left downwind, runway 24, to a full stop, Bucknell.
That's about the dumbest damn piece of flying as I've seen in a while. All right, see if you can pull it back together and give me a short film.
Person County traffic, Super Cub 71 Charlie is climbing to make sure to avoid traffic at 18.5 now, crossing midfield, Person County traffic.
You're a little bit late. We would have been almost a mid-air if we hadn't avoided you, that Super Cub.
Go back to Super Cub, I couldn't hardly hear you.
As I say, if we hadn't turned, it would have probably been a mid-air. We're on the downwind pattern for runway 24 at Person County at pattern altitude.
71 Charlie. I'm at 2,000 feet now.
Where you should have been to start with.
Bucknell traffic, Liberty 104.
Person County to Echo Romeo, final runway 24.
Liberty 177 turning left, downwind 24, full stop, Bucknell.
Now, if you're going to do that, why don't you move over 2 miles? You've been totally out of the way of everybody. People just... Common sense is challenging for a lot of people. Work your feet. Now, the reason you're having trouble with tires is you've still got flying speed.
Yeah, I came in fast.
But you did a better landing that time. You were right where
Yeah.
you needed to be, other than the little
I mean,
bit...
I could have made it, but I didn't want to slam on the brakes.
Well, the thing is, you should have worked the flare deeper.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the criteria for this, it basically says slowest possible speed, which means the buzzer should... It doesn't necessarily mean you need to stall to touch the ground.
You're right.
But the buzzer should be on.
And, you know, a perfect pattern is
Now,
a perfect landing. And
This guy is still out here somewhere.
Yeah, he's right there.
You actually see him.
He must have, well, I think he crossed over.
And Super Cub, are you staying in the pattern at Person County?
Super Cub 71 Charlie, no sir, I'm heading on out west.
Okay. All right.
Sorry about that, I thought I was still above pattern altitude a few minutes ago.
That's okay. Fortunately, we had ADSB in and we could pick you up and find you.
71 Charlie. I'm surprised it wasn't showing me on mine either.
Pattern altitude at Person County is 1,000 AGL.
71 Charlie. All right, thank you. Have a nice day.
You too.
What are we doing?
I'm looking for my Mountain Dew.
Let's get the important stuff off the checklist first.
All right, soft fill takeoff.
Did you think that was 10%? The flaps?
Probably a slightly under, but close.
Okay.
I don't think that mark right there is dead on. I think it's a slight bit lower than that.
Okay.
That whole system doesn't work great.
Okay.
Person County to Echo Romeo taking off runway 24. Person, stand in the pattern. Right foot. There you go. Right. There you go. Start to ease off your yoke just a shade, not much. Good.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
And the truth is, you know, going down to miss him as well as turning might have been a decent option. If you see him in time.
I saw him going this way, so I was going to go straight, but it's fine.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Well, when we got a yellow alert on here, it means he's definitely in your zone of collision possibility. White is still outside that range, even though they may be within 600 feet or so of you. When it goes yellow, now you need to start maneuvering to not hit somebody.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Mail traffic 9562, pop at 2,900 feet, approximately 6 miles southwest of the airport, inbound for runway 24, Brookneal traffic.
Remember, you got an airspeed limit on those flaps. And you don't want the flaps to balloon you. They will, there's no question, but you don't want them to, which is a control input on your part to compensate. Coming down. See the end going down and below you? That means you've overcompensated if it's a short field. That end, very end of the runway ought to be staying dead still. Good. Power out. Start your flare. Work it. Work it. More. All right. Go from here. Keep working. Keep working. Keep working. Keep working. Stay on the brakes, but some. See how far we floated?
Yeah. It was speed.
But you're still at 12, 1,400 feet. That's not bad.
But you called it. I was overcompensating. I saw 59. I'm like, oh, that's not good. And I pushed too much, and then I got up, and then I had to compensate to get down.
Right. So think about the cause and effect. So when you add the power, the plane wants to go up because you're either here or here have trimmed it for a speed.
Right.
And so if you don't change anything, it's going to go climb. So what you're wanting is a steady, straight line to the point that you would like, in our case, the end of the runway.
Right.
So if it's starting to rise, it may be a combo of power and pitch. It may be just a subtle change in pitch.
Okay.
And then if you pitch down and it's trying to balloon, of course the flaps are causing some of that, but if it's trying to balloon, then pulling the power more will help. So we acknowledge that either one of these will cause the plane to balloon up or go down.
I should have done this sooner.
Okay. All right, another soft field. Somebody leaving black skid marks here for you.
That's not me.
I know, it's a King Air or a jet.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Two parallels, it's probably a jet.
I won't take those. Guess they were, I don't see them on the other side. They're only on that side.
That's not a head and a skid, because it didn't, you get a little bit of black marks just because it takes a while for the tires to spool up, but it shouldn't be long black marks. I have actually been trying to stop instead of go off the far end. Right foot. You know it's going to need it. There you go. That looked good. You saw it a tiny bit over and you recompensated. Worked great.
Buzzards are starting to get to me. There's one headed right to us.
Typically, if they aren't slightly above you, they're not going to be. If they're basically level and you're not at cruise accelerating into a pack of them. Like in our case, we're climbing, but he's just barely below us. Yeah, he's not going to be a problem because he ain't going to go up to miss you. He will either turn or go down.
Okay.
If he's about 10 feet above you, that's the one that you got to worry about.
Okay, that's good to know.
Because in his mind, he may not be able to figure out which way to turn. He may close his wings and drop. And if he judges, he could drop right into you. That's the one you got to worry about.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Okay, this time we're going to do engine outs. We'll wait till we beam the touchdown point. Instead of the end of the runway, this time use your 1,000 foot as your imaginary beginning of your point. And
Okay.
we'd like to be stopped in about 1,500 feet, which is about where that hash mark starts on the other end. See, this lines up the sides of the runway.
Okay.
That's at 1,500 or 1,800. That's 2,000 feet. That ought to work.
Okay.
All right, motor just quit. Don't skid it. This is a coordinated turn. Skidding this turn is deadly. Person County to Echo Romeo, turn in final 24. So if you see it, fix it. Don't wait. It ain't going to get better. Think you're okay, just keep doing what you're doing. But you're about 8 knots above above glide speed.
I'm going to land, but it's not where I'm supposed to be.
Don't let your speed bleed off till you get to the flare. Landed. All right.
Can I talk to you
Car
about,
heat.
Can I talk to you about this?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
I think what threw me was the huge flaps. I wasn't.
Well, that's true.
I wasn't anticipating that.
I agree with you.
It threw me off because that's not how I remember them to be.
Well, I agree with you. There are places where you want to use them, but the more you do it the way you're used to doing it, you won't glide near as far because you don't have any power pulling you. But at least you're used to doing it a certain way, and to change that game at the worst possible time in your flying career is not good.
So would you say don't do 40?
Not right away.
Okay.
Now, the truth of the matter is, 40 was probably too much. You pulled some of them back up, but then when you had it made, you didn't put them back in.
Okay.
Remember, it's not a what said it be done. It's what's working. What do I need to adjust?
Right.
What can I adjust? You know, can I turn in sooner? Can I extend out? Can I use more flaps? Can I use a side slip? I tend to think more in terms of not going to full flaps till I am guaranteed I got it made, but I will put in half and use a side slip. Remember, that side slip gets you down pretty fast too. A whole bunch of them B1RDs over there.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24. Person County.
Must be a dead deer down there because I just saw a whole pack up from about 500 feet up circling.
Oh, jeez.
Hope they aren't climbing. So give yourself a normal room. Don't tighten it up just because you think I'm fixing to pull the engine on you. Remember that one of the criteria on the, whatever they call it, the criteria for the Checkride, right, is that you slow to glide speed.
Which is 65.
Well, 70s. Okay. 68 or 9, I think is actually it. All right, motor just quit. Let's slow down. Immediately hold altitude. Don't lose altitude because you're trading off. It's not efficient. You're going to get down quicker, which might help you, might not, but it won't help you to be going fast. And use flaps if you think you're looking way down at it. Use some flaps. You know, think about how you're going to put this package together. The one thing you don't want to do is go way out, turn around, and try to come way back. You want to keep it in. Remember, our key position is a base leg, and it needs to be in tighter because you aren't going to glide as far. And if you should run this into a 15-knot headwind, it could really, change whether you can get there or can't get there.
Blue Ridge traffic, Cessna 2675 Lima is 10 miles out from the south.
We're not looking for the perfect glide because we don't have power to correct for it. We want to be a little bit high and on speed. And then we want to make our judgments of what we need from that steady speed. And the reason speed has to be steady is because if you're up and down on pitch, you can't judge sink rate. You can't judge where this plane's really going if the pitch is constantly up and down. It needs to be really smooth. All right. What are you seeing? Talk to me. You're 80 knots. What are you seeing?
Too fast.
So how about let's put on some brakes? See, if this is real, I have the controls. If this is real, you don't have but one shot at this. You either make it or you don't make it. Okay?
I need to practice side slips.
We either make it or we don't make it.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I need to practice side slips. It's
a nice tool to be able to use.
Absolutely. I'm not that.
See, that approach and the first one were almost identical. And you landed down at the 2,000-foot point.
Yeah.
All right?
Side slip made the difference.
Well, that, and as soon as you see it going sideways, figure out how you're going to fix it.
Okay.
Are you going to fix it with more drag? Are you going to fix it with side slips? You're going to fix it by turning? Or maybe it's going sideways because all of a sudden everything's going up. The trouble is that once your flaps are in, it takes too long to get rid of them. But that side slip, if you kick it in, you can instantly dump it.
Okay.
And it's almost like giving it to gas again. That's the way gliders work. Gliders create drag that they can dump, which is the spoilers. And they pull them halfway up. And if they coming in high, they extend them. And if they're coming in low, they retract them. And it's almost, if you ride one, it almost feels like us giving it gas. We don't have that option, but we do have a side slip.
All right.
All right. Normal takeoff.
All right.
Let you relax a little bit on the takeoff.
Geez, thanks. I feel like saying, thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Yeah, I saw that movie, too. Animal House.
Yeah. Long time ago.
Yeah.
1980 probably, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe no. Maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah, I always thought John Belushi was one of the more talented comedians out there.
Yeah. Can we just practice a side slip?
Sure.
Instead of a...
Not climbing, however.
What?
Not climbing, but yeah.
Blue Ridge traffic,
Do you practice them on the downwind, or you want to leave the pattern a little ways, go out and play, we can do that.
What would you recommend?
It depends on how much you want to do it.
I just need a refresher, really.
Okay.
They just do downwind?
Yeah, just do downwind.
Okay.
Just
Person county traffic. 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County. Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
So there are two types of side slips. One's the type you use in the landing where you're keeping the plane from moving sideways. And the other one is what you use to create drag to come down, where you have to be able to visualize where the plane is tracking, but it isn't going to be straight in front of you. The nose isn't pointed where you want to go. The nose is off to the side, and the wing is down. So from here, you see the blue top school? Barely make it out there?
Yep.
All right, so kick your nose to the left, to the right, and put the left wing down. Put it down. Now, if you really got to do this, you bury the right foot all the way to the firewall, and you steer with your wing. And then you control airspeed, in our case, with power and with... So you got it?
Yeah.
All right.
They did.
Now, if you didn't have power, we'd have to put the nose down considerably. And you see, you can use any amount of it you want. If you only need a tiny bit, use a tiny bit. If you need a lot of it, use a lot of it.
Okay.
And you could do it on the right, but the trouble is, if you're doing a left-hand pattern, you already have the left wing down. It makes no sense to roll the other way.
What do you want me to do now?
All right, so let's level out.
Okay.
Traffic,
We're going to play with this coming in.
We're going to do what?
We're going to play with it coming in.
Okay. So we're coming in too high.
Yeah, we're going to purposely come in too high.
And too fast.
And you could also do this with all right, so start power, carb heat, power back a bit. You could also do this if you had 0 flaps and you needed to slow down. So if the flaps break and they won't come down at all, then, you know, that's a potential. All right, go ahead and turn in.
Okay.
24, touch notebook now.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
All right, so keep your nose up. Start slowing down a bit. All right, so now we're high, right?
Yep.
So power all the way out. Now use your side slip to land on the, slow it to 70, and use your side slip as best you can to get it down. So go ahead and start it. Left wing down, right foot. Steer with your wings. So don't let the speed get too slow. Yeah, how much more foot you got? And you can drop that wing. Now, it's pulling, we're actually tracking towards the windsock, but that's okay because we're off to the side. If you need to pull more that way, you drop the wing more. Ready?
Yep.
Just keep that right foot buried. Don't let off of it. Now, wing coming back up, that'll let your nose swing around a little bit. Now wing back down. Just keep it buried. Don't let off till you get real close to the end of the flare. All right, now straighten it up. Stay on the brakes. And go ahead. Easy on the brakes.
I guess that's the key to pushing the rudder all the way to the floor, is making sure that it's just the rudder.
That's all right. and you're to some degree correct about that because
I'm just not used to
it's hard not to have your toes on the brakes a little bit, which is part of the reason at the last second to roll it back out some. Now, if you need to, if you're about to hit the trees on the far end and you need to, you can land on one wheel. You can hold that side slip too close for comfort.
Yeah.
That's where you want to shove the nose over.
Okay, I moved, but I guess that wasn't aggressive enough.
No, it was, well, we didn't hit him. I guess it worked. Scared the hell out of him. I saw the poop coming out. No, I didn't.
Kind of scared me a little bit, too.
Yeah, that was a little closer than I really want to be to a buzzard.
First and County Traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Nope. Traffic, DB 177, turning left, downwind with a 24.
I have no idea what that was.
I don't either, except he was at Brooknell.
Oh, how'd you know that?
Oh, you're turning in too tight again.
Person County Traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County. Yes, I need to use the blue school as my gauge.
Well, I use these, though I hate to use landmarks because you can't move them with the next
Down with the
airport.
ponds.
No, I use the grain towers below you.
Oh, okay.
But again, you know, what you're really wanting to do is get used to seeing what that turn looks like that's going to position you where you are right now.
Right.
As opposed, because, you know, we don't have, or unfortunately, they don't put blue roof schools and grain tanks at every airport.
Yeah.
And so the ability to visualize the distances and the paths, and when you're on the downwind, where's the runway relative to your wing strut? Those are the things you want to use for your markers. All right.
What is the plan?
Do another set of side slips if you want to. That worked out.
Okay.
Turning final, running 2.
It also, getting good at side slips really gets your feet working right.
Looking at traffic, we'll be 124 left crossing.
It just seems so awkward.
It is awkward.
Like it's
Hey,
so,
it works for me.
so,
I'm an awkward person.
I know, but it's so counterintuitive to what you normally do in the plane.
Well, the reason it works for me is because I grew up in a tailwheel airplane with no flaps. And so we use flap slips a lot.
For 24, touches over now.
And I got my kids using them. Now they use them when they don't even need to. They just like them.
Person County Traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Romeo Whiskey's about 10 on left downwind, 3-1, Blue Ridge.
Person County Traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
All right, so you're high and fast. So time to start working on it. Don't wait. Get your speed slowed down. Fire back. Now, if you dive in, it doesn't help you. Dive in, it does get you down, but now you're going so damn fast you can't put the plane on the ground. So now use a really hard side slip. Keep your nose about where you got it, roll it over, kick that foot in. Now, if you see it's coming up, you can ease out a little bit, just like you're doing. Work it over to the center of the runway. That's wing down. Lead the rollout, because if you don't lead it, we're going to still be going sideways when we get there. Remember, you got to anticipate all this. Now, keep working, keep working, keep working, keep working. But don't quit. And that's the disadvantage of not having flaps, is that it's a higher angle to get the angle of attack on the wing. The flaps coming down allow the nose to be lower.
Takeoff.
Yep, go ahead.
I didn't know what kind of takeoff you wanted, but normal is fine.
Normal's fine. Now work those feet. They work with your hands on the climb out. They work against your hands on the landing. It's the reason that I typically think more in terms of smoothness and point to nose. Coming into land, I think, well, you know, where I want the nose pointed to go where I want to go.
Right.
When I did my private pilot check ride, I did it in a Piper Colt with no flaps, okay? And the airport that I took the check ride was an old military base, had the triangle runways that overlapped each other a little bit.
Right.
And it had pine trees that grew up to probably a couple of 300 feet from the end of the asphalt. And they were, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80 feet tall pine trees.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Now, Piper Colts are short-winged airplanes, so they don't make the kind of lift this wing makes. So, you know, they come out of the air pretty good anyway.
04, turning left downwind 24, Brooklyn.
The last maneuver the examiner had me do was a short field landing. And I'm fairly convinced that up until that point, he hadn't 100% decided whether he's going to pass me or not. But flying short field was my cup of tea. I'd been flying out of 1,200-foot grass pasture for years when I did my private check ride. So I came in and I set it up to miss those trees about 3 feet.
Wow.
And he even said, watch the trees. I said, I see them. Had it on speed. I barely cleared those trees. I threw it into full cross control side slip, nailed the center of the runway, touched down before where those two runways cross like that,
Right.
and got it stopped in less than 1,000 feet from where the trees were. And he looked over at me, he said, that's pretty good.
10 miles out to the east, inbound for landing. Big 13.
Blue Ridge traffic, Bonanza 8400, November, 8 miles out, inbound from the southwest for a full stop, Blue Ridge.
Four left base for touch go 24.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County. Ooh, traffic wind 7, left crosswind, left downwind, runway 24, touching go Brooktown.
Now, don't make this a 5-sided box. Especially on your check ride, don't do that.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County. I hadn't heard what kind of thing you want me to do. I'm too low to do side slip.
No, you're not.
I'm not?
No, you can level out a little bit, power up.
Gotta keep the flaps where they are?
You can do that.
They're at 10%. Pretty much, right?
Now, airspeed control is a combination of power and pitch. Remember that in a hard side slip, your airspeed is not accurate. So carry a little bit extra indicated just to be safe. Go for the center line. I want to be straddle that center line. Whatever you're doing, I want to be straddle that center line. Repeat. All right, go ahead. Now,
the winds,
don't side slip uphill. That doesn't work good.
well, I think it's, the winds have picked up a little bit, maybe.
They may have. It's still a wings level climb.
Yeah.
It's just you turn the airplane to crab. Go uphill.
Person County Airport. Automated weather observation. 163-9er. Zulu weather. Wind 220 at 5. Gusts 15. Visibility 10.
Maybe that's what that was, the gust. But it's actually more.
Yeah, we got this nice warmer weather coming.
It's more in line,
And
though.
what do we do is have damp gust.
Oh, you're talking about later for you, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not supposed to be gusty till 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Now, if it is straight down the runway, I can live with that, or a slight crosswind.
Right.
But I can't live with that kind of crosswind. At the point I am in learning that plane, if it's a dead crosswind gusting to 15, I don't want to be there just yet. Someday, yes. Right now, no.
Can't say that I blame you. You know me, Mr. Cautious. Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Brooklyn traffic, Liberty 177, turning left crosswind, runway 24, Brookville.
Blue Ridge traffic, Sirius 4 Golf Kilo is entering the left 45 downwind for runway 13. Blue Ridge traffic.
Hardin County traffic, Archer Center, Pop Alpha is about 10 miles to the west, inbound for straight in for runway 5.
He's going to be crossing over the field 2,000 feet or above Brookfield.
Alrighty, Brookfield traffic, Liberty 177, left downwind, runway 24. Touch and go. Brookfield.
And Brookfield traffic, what's your traffic pattern altitude?
1600.
They're like
I'll climb up, I'm at 2,000 right now. I'm going to cross over the field. I'll climb up to 2300.
There's a document for that.
Yeah.
I can't believe that. I'd be so embarrassed I couldn't ask.
Well, on top of that, whoever said 600 feet's full of shit, too.
Man, I tell you, that's not what we're asked to do. We're asked to plan a flight.
That's it. I agree with you.
I'm embarrassed for him. Maybe I should get on the thing and say, are you a student pilot?
Sirius 4 Golf Kilo on that left
Now, if he said, what's the airport elevation, he still should have known.
Yeah, he should.
That's what the 600 is the airport elevation, not the pattern. Yeah, you fly the traffic pattern at 600. You'll be knocking the squirrels out of the trees.
00 November, turning left crosswind for 13, Blue Ridge. And I've got the traffic inside.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Bonanza 6 to the southwest, will be landing person.
Person County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning final for runway 24, Person County.
Person County to Bonanza.
This is Bonanza, person.
Sound like Doc.
How long are you going to be staying here? So I know where to park you.
Oh, thanks, yeah. This is John. I'm based at person, so hangar 4, I'm coming in.
Sorry about that. I didn't catch the tail number whenever you with it. Sorry about that.
Still getting that flare really flat. You need to be higher than that. So you still got, probably got enough to actually put it back in the air. But you want to touch down looking like that.
Okay.
Remember my complaint about that jerky here this morning?
Yeah. That was me.
That time it was. You'd been doing pretty good. That one.
That was me. Hey, I need to stop watching bad landings. It's having having a bad effect on me.
That's true.
I'm picking up bad habits.
Person County traffic, Bonanza on a 45 for downwind 24 person.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is on the go, remaining in the pattern, about to turn crosswind. I thought I should let him know. In case he did pay attention, I don't know.
You're correct, no.
Left downwind runway 24, touching go Brookdale.
I don't see him on the screen, do you?
Yeah, it is. Right there.
Oh, okay.
And Brookdale traffic liberty 177, traffic from south, nice.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Bonanza turning base 24 person.
Well, I mean, to his defense, he didn't give his call sign.
You're correct, he didn't.
He didn't do last time either. I mean, I guess that was his way of saying, "Oh, I didn't catch your call sign."
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is that most pilots, time you get close enough to read it, you're too close.
Person County traffic, 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
Person County traffic, Bonanza turning final, 24, will be a full stop at Person.
Brookdale traffic liberty 177, turning base, left base, runway 24, touching go Brookdale.
I see him.
Brookdale traffic liberty 177, turn final, runway 24, touching go Brookdale.
I guess you must know him.
Yeah, he's based there. A doctor down in Durham.
Does he think he's the only Bonanza in the area?
No, but if you know what a Bonanza is, A, it tells you he's going to be going a lot faster than we are, and B, it's a low-wing airplane, and I can't read his end tail number anyway. I'm just scared that he's out there.
Yeah.
So I'm perfectly happy for him to just say Bonanza. So I would not disagree with you that using the call sign, even an abbreviated call sign, would be better.
Yeah.
All right, your motor just quit. Past 1,000 foot, stop before you get to the 3,000 foot on the other end. That's 2,000 feet to play with.
Person County traffic, Bonanza clear the active person.
Remember to be careful that you don't get too far out here. That's the one thing you can't fix.
Howard County traffic, not a Papa Alpha. Runway 5, full stop, Arnett.
Control your airspeed. Now again, the steadier you can fly the pitch, the steadier your airspeed, easier it's going to be to figure out if this works or doesn't work. When you pull up, it makes you look high. When you push the nose over, it makes you look low. It's important to maintain the pitch and speed. And then remember to work that flare a little bit sooner. Start the rotation a little bit higher. And on the throttle, because if we gotta have it, we gotta have it. You don't have time to hunt for it. Good landing. Make a good landing. Left wing, right foot. Left wing, right foot. Left wing, right foot. Or putting a tire wear goddamn on the airplane.
Can't say I blame you. So
let's just do a nice, gentle, easy, normal, round the pattern, nothing wrong.
Okay. Are you feeling like I'm a little bit beat up?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been working you pretty hard today.
Okay.
People get mentally tired.
I'm a little mentally tired, truth be told. I was a little mentally tired yesterday.
I can believe that.
I think it was more just because of, what's the word? I think what I'm experiencing right now is I see the goal, I see the finish line.
Right.
But I'm afraid that I'm not going to make it if I'm not perfect.
Well,
and so I feel like this examiner, DPE, Greg, is going to be standing there with his arms crossed on a checkboard and looking really mean, and that's my vision.
But that's not who Greg is.
I understand that. I don't know Greg. All I know is
but trust me, Greg is not. Now, you do have to get there. You know, no doubt. There's no doubt you've got to cross the finish line with a certain level of decorum.
Of course.
And to try to be the best you can possibly be every time means to fly consistently.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning crosswind for runway 24, Person County.
Now, if you do 3 traffic patterns out here, they ought to look almost identical except for short final. They ought to start at the same distance away, the same altitude, the same airspeed, the same power setting. You ought to put pull the power to the same place. You ought to put the flaps in at the same place. You ought to, within reason, fly the same traffic pattern over the ground every time.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning downwind for runway 24, Person County.
And the final adjustments are made coming down the chute about that compensate for wind based on putting the flaps down a tiny bit sooner or a tiny bit later, or maybe putting them part of the way down and then finishing them, or maybe adding a power or taking power out a little bit, but it shouldn't be, you ought not to be chasing stuff.
You're right.
And then the flare, if you think back to the one I did, you want the we know the wind's coming off the left side. Not a lot, but it is.
Right.
So we know we're going to have to put the left wing down a tiny bit, and you can look at the windsock on short final to give you an indicator. And that is going to dictate that it's going to take a little bit of right foot. And then in the flare, it will take a tiny bit more pressure on your big toe on the right foot. And then you want to start the flare a little bit higher so that you can use up that airspeed without floating down the runway trying to be perfect when if you'd started the flare 4 feet higher, you would have used up some of that energy. It is definitely getting a little choppier out here.
Yeah.
Person County traffic 2 Echo Romeo is turning base for runway 24, Person County. 177, left downwind, runway 24, full stop, Brooktown. Total traffic, Liberty 165, 9 mile final for runway 6 will be circling and then in the left downwind for runway 24 for a touch and go, Brooktown.
Ridge traffic, Terminal 2160, Mike, left base 31 Blue Ridge.
Present County traffic to Echo Romeo is turning fun for runway 24. Present County.
Shots 10 miles to the northeast, and now we're going to overfly the field and teardrop in for left downwind to 31, Blue Ridge.
Now, watch that airspeed. Our angles look good, so you just keep aiming it like you're doing it, and then back out of the speed, the power till you slow down. You can always put it back in. This isn't a perfect glide-in deal. This is use all your tools to get where you need to be. So power up a little bit. Power up a little bit. Because I know without it, we're going to come in short. Been doing this a long time.
I trust you.
So what I want you to do is get to the point you can see that. Now you're looking good. So now, power out or whatever, more flaps if you, I wouldn't put them in now, I'd just go ahead and land. But left wing, right foot. Good, now work that flare. Keep working it. Good, that's the way to fight it. Keep working. There you go. That's what we're after right there.
Okay. That was a little hard landing, wasn't it?
Oh.
Okay.
Clean gear, nose wheel in the air.
Okay.
Car didn't even go flat.
A new benchmark. Tom flew today and he didn't break any tires. He must have had a good day.
There you go.
I'm assuming we're stopping.
Yes.
Okay. I was ready to stop, so I was going to tell you.
That was a good landing.
Can we stop? Stop. Break. Sadly enough, I won't probably fly Wednesday or Thursday because I'm off both days, and Wednesday's my birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
Thanks.
Tell you ahead of time. The first.
I wanted to fly on my birthday.
Understand, I usually like to fly on my birthday. It's kind of one of those things I do for myself.
Because, you know, people say, what do you want to do on your birthday? Do anything you want to do. And it's like, that's what I'm
Yes, I want to go fly.
I mean, it's a vacation day for me, so I just took the vacation day so they couldn't schedule me. Anyway, but weather is something we can't control. And I think you said you had somebody anyway on that day, right? Morning?
I'd have to look and see.
Okay. I'm assuming...
I know Tom is, O'Neill is...
The other Tom?
The other time is scheduled to fly Wednesday, but it doesn't mean I don't have time during the day.
Right.
It just means they got to work around.
But he would be Dr. Tom.
Would be Dr. Tom.
Definitely an interesting character.
Oh, he is that. Ain't no doubt about that one.
He's got a sense of humor. Almost like yours, the two of you. I can't imagine the two of you talking. One joke over after another.
Well, I'm not really a huge joke teller other than my corny jokes that pertain to flying.
So this is coming, someone's got this at 12.
We think, but go ahead and park it in our normal.
Okay.
Even though we may not tie it down, we'll at least park it.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. If he was standing out there, I'd say we'd park up front, but since I don't see him, we'll just put it back in its normal place.
Okay.